machine or a manual vac. So the Dolphin is automatic.
Yep.
Manual is you doing it.
Right. Have I got a thing to do it manually?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So because you're going to be in and out with the sand and there might be a bit of pencil compacting, you might have to do a manual vac.
Right, okay.
Dave, do you think we can set it up for Sandra?
Vacuum?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do.
Yeah? Because I think the pencil compactor guys are going to put a bit of sand in.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't, but they will. So then this part here reduces the surface area, has the suction just in one point, which is where your pipe goes in, and then you've got a vacuum head.
Right, so the vacuum goes into that
hole.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't use this part. This part is a flow valve.
Yep.
This is if you had a creepy crawly. Do you remember those old
Yeah,
things?
yep.
Okay, so we'll set that up for you, and then when all the sand's out and you're finished, then you just take this out.
Right,
So,
okay.
vacuum plate.
Yep.
Attached to vacuum hose. Which is this guy here.
Okay.
Which Dave will set up for you. One part goes into that hole.
Yep.
The other part goes onto your vacuum head. Where's vacuum head, Dave?
I'll take it out and put the thing up
Where?
behind you. Yeah, I was starting to do that assembly when I got another message.
Oh, okay. Vacuum head.
Okay.
Okay. So the telepole.
Hoover for the pool was what
Yeah.
people like to
Yeah.
call it.
Okay.
So,
The telepole. This is your telepole.
Yep.
Okay, and your telepole has 3 attachments to it. This one is one. Your vacuum head. That goes to that. That goes to that. That's one attachment. Second attachment.
Okay.
Is your leaf rake. He
Yep.
goes on there when he's not on,
Yep.
and he scoops your leaves.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah? Bonus beach ball. Vacuum brush. Pool brush.
Okay.
Also goes on there.
Yep.
And it brushes the sides of the walls. Any sand that kind of gets onto your steps, you just
Okay.
brush it off
Yep.
the steps.
Yep.
And then your vacuum will be able to pick it up.
Right. Okay.
there's a robot in the garage as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's your equipment.
Yep.
They call your equipment.
Okay.
Your handover. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's in that little booklet.
Yep. Okay.
So Dave will set this one
So
up.
your vacuum hose, you see it's got 2 different connections.
Yep. Yep.
This is a swivel connection that goes on the vacuum head like that,
Okay.
and the
I used
tapered
to remember
connection
blue.
goes
Yep, on
into
the-
the vacuum plate.
Right. Okay.
So,
The key to this is always have your hose full of water.
Okay.
So there's 2 ways to do it.
the right way and the not right way. So you've got to make sure the hose is full of water, because you can't introduce air into the pump.
Right. Okay.
So my method is just to extend that guy out and then lean that against the wall of the pool,
Yep.
and then just push this into the pool, and it will fill with water. If you just work with the hose in the shape the hose
Yeah.
is in,
Yep.
you can do that quite quickly, and you'll see at the end of it you've got water in the hose. There you
Okay.
go.
Cool.
Okay?
Yep.
So you know that your hose is full of water when it sits on the surface of the pool, but just below the surface.
Okay.
If it gets air in the hose, it'll sit on the surface. So you see the difference
Yeah.
there?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So air is the pump's enemy and makes the pump run dry.
Okay.
So if you had like several parts of the hose or one big section of hose, and you turn it on to do the vacuum, you'll hear the pump start up because there's water in the pipe.
Yeah,
in the pump.
yeah.
Then you'll hear this big gulp of air go into the pump,
Right.
and then it can lose its prime.
Okay.
So you've got to just try and make sure that this hose is full of water.
Prime means
So-
full of water.
Yep.
I'll just take that out for now. Like your skimmer basket, your vacuum plate's got 4 little locators, and it's just an 1/8 of a turn. So it sits on top of your skimmer basket and then locked
turn,
in
yep.
position. You can go through the mouth here
Okay.
and put that in there if you want to. Okay. And this is a flow valve that's designed to increase the suction. So
Hello.
you virtually turn this almost all the way down.
Yep.
Well, the PC boys are early.
Wow, good scent here.
There you go. All right. Now if
Okay.
you turn the pump on. So I've put this back on standby.
Okay.
Right, we left it on deliberately last night for you. So one click illuminates the pad. It's saying standby auto timer.
Yep.
Push a second time, push a third time. It's now in on mode.
Right.
Priming,
Yep.
pump's going to start up, and then we're going to get water flowing, and then basically this is a bit like a vacuum filter.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
So it catches all the dirt. Some dirt's going to get through that basket. Some of it's going to get through this basket.
Okay.
That's a bit of air that you can see. That's what we try to avoid, getting air into the system. So, and then the rest of the dirt is going to get caught in the filter here.
Okay.
So
So how often does that need emptying?
when this pressure gauge gets up above 100.
Right. Okay.
So your pump has got 3 speeds.
Yep. Okay.
At the moment it's in priming speed. See how it's saying priming?
Yep. Yep.
So it's going to run in this speed for about 2 minutes.
Yep.
And then I've got it set to medium speed for you, just for energy saving.
Okay.
So this pressure gauge
Yep.
is calibrated to work when the pump's in priming speed.
Right.
So obviously if it drops to medium or low speed, your pressure gauge is going to drop as well.
Yep. Okay.
So this is always about having a look when it's priming as to see what the level of pressure is,
Yep.
then give it a clean.
Right. Okay.
If you've ever had any experience with a spa, it's
Nope.
like a big spine filter. I'll show you that later when
Okay.
we've done it. This is the nozzle that we use
Oh wow. Yep.
to clean these particular filter elements.
Okay.
It's really, really good. We've started carrying spare ones.
Oh wow.
Once we show customers to see if they want to buy them for $20.
Yep.
All right, but yeah, this will clean this nozzle, this filter element out really, really nicely.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll do a quick clean of the floor and then clean that filter as a demonstration
Okay.
for you.
So this vacuum's on now.
This vacuum is
Right,
on.
okay.
So just extend that telly pole. Right.
just put it down to the piece of
Oh, okay. Yeah, and it's just a case of
Brushing against the bottom.
just the suction port's at the bottom of the pool, at the bottom of the vacuum head.
Yep.
And you can see there'll be a little line of dirt as we go backwards and forwards, where your next line is.
Yep.
But once your pool is clean, you pretty much will be using your robot mostly, because
Yeah,
that will do all this for you. So, but yeah, this is just a manual vacuum. Walls have been brushed, landings would have been brushed. So you might need to do this once until you've got some sort of what's going around the pool.
We're going to put
Aggregate or-
concrete. Yeah. Aggregate. Yeah.
Yeah, in the new year.
Yeah. Be a few months yet.
Okay.
But yeah, you're going to put some...
We're going to cover it with weed matting. Yeah. We've got weed matting to go on it.
Yeah, so that'll help. But
Okay,
there's
cool.
always going to be something.
And what you've got to be careful of not lifting this out of the water, otherwise
Okay.
we'll get
Yep.
a big gulp of air go through the hose.
Yep,
And
okay.
listen to the pump shortly. It's going to go. What did you do that for?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right, that's now dropped. That's priming speed over.
Yep.
It's dropped to mid speed. It's still enough for this to do a vacuum
Yep.
because this is just a very light powdery coating on the floor here.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be enough for heavier sand and that sort of thing. You'd need
Okay.
a higher speed on the pump.
Yep.
So
It's fairly easy. It's like vacuuming in the house. I find it quite good.
I've got a robot vacuum.
Yeah. Well, you got one in here too?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Dad said, after these guys are done, you probably need to do this.
Yeah.
A little bit of quick guys.
So they got you guys scheduled for tomorrow as well?
Nah,
Really?
I wanted to, but nah, I've done my 1,000 pools a year.
There's a pool up at Chittering that probably needs a visit.
You didn't get that one?
January. Been to Chidlow twice in the last week. So
Yeah.
it's far out.
I was there probably 5 hours on site yesterday.
Okay,
What's wrong with it? Is it just really
lucky you.
dirty or?
No, when we
35
got there, none of the
degrees.
equipment was set up.
Oh,
So
okay.
then we had to do setup.
Ah.
And they had everything.
Oh wow.
And a pool that was 60,000 litres.
Wow.
Discover these things after you.
Yeah. The lights went everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Every time we went, saw
good,
this
is
crop
it?
and the next one
Yeah.
came, we
Yeah. How much more?
went, Because these are only supposed to take 2 hours.
Mm.
No, we
Yeah.
did your hair soon. That's right. We did all most of our stuff last night.
No, we were nice and early down at the job and it.
So I'll show you the dolphin while he does that.
Yep.
Because you're going to know that he was putting your best friend.
Yay!
So he's in the garage.
Yep.
I'll leave him in here. I'm sure you guys will put him out maybe tomorrow after your pencil compacting.
Yeah,
or after you've
yeah.
done a manual vac, because you don't want to you don't want this guy to fill up with sand. So another document to keep.
Okay.
Okay, so this one works like the robot in the house.
Yep.
Runs on power. So you're going to need power near the pool.
Oh, okay. So I need a double thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when your electrician comes and he puts power up where you pump and whatnot, I don't know if you ask him, can you please make sure there's a port for this?
Right. Okay. Yep.
Or if you organise somebody to have power in your patio
Yeah. Yep.
area. So he plugs into power, turn on the button, that turns blue.
Yep.
This is a 2-pin plug on this side, which is just here. So
Okay. Yep.
Pops
Plug
in
it
there.
in. Yep.
Yep. And turn on. So pretty much, you pick him up by the handle. It's like
Very
a little
pretty.
tank.
Yep.
Yep. And you just drop him into the middle of the pool.
Okay.
He will just slowly get to the bottom, and then once you push go, he'll do a little shimmer, and he'll have a look at your pool and he'll map it. And
Okay,
then he'll
cool,
start,
yep.
and he'll do the floor. Now what have you got? You've got an E10. Okay, so he's not a wall climber, he's just a floor model.
Yep. Yep.
So
Okay.
he will just do the floor. So before that, I would recommend to Paul to brush the landings. So the areas where you sit,
Yep,
brush
yep.
the horizontals.
Yep. Yep. So
and
everything
maybe
falls.
just brush
Yep.
the sides of the walls,
Yep.
and then he will pick it up.
Right. Okay.
So basically, he runs for 2 hours. He will do the whole surface of the pool on the floor. And when he's finished, just open this guy up here. He's got a little basket on board.
Okay. Yep.
So a bit
Empty
like
him
the
out.
skimmer basket.
Yeah. Yep.
He's got his own little basket.
Okay.
This is very, very fine if you feel that.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want to be too rough with it,
No.
like you don't want to scrub it or anything. So a hose pipe is fine, that
Yep.
pressure of a hose pipe, to hose that off. This gets full of leaves. It's got a little magnet here.
Okay. Yep.
So it gets full of leaves, so you just need to, get
Get
into
them out.
it,
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
out. And then pop it back in. Only goes in one way. So many people go, I can't get it in. No, it only goes one
Wrong
way.
way. Yeah.
Only goes one way. And then close, and it's a positive click. And that's it.
Cool.
He's good
Okay.
to go
That's
again.
easy.
If
So
you
how
get-
often will I need to robot it? Is it just as you see stuff on the bottom?
Absolutely,
And, yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't leave them in the pool for a long period of time, 1 or 2 days. It's
Yep,
fine. You can
yep.
swim with them in, but they get tangled.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get tangled
yeah,
up. So
yeah.
take it out. When you do take it out, you just gently pull on the cord until I think that's like the last bit before it gets to the robot, and then you just pull them out.
Yeah. Okay.
As you pull them out, just pop them on the side of
Yeah.
the pool. He's full of water, so he'll let a whole lot of water
So
out.
it'll just drain itself.
Drain,
Yeah. Okay.
yep, and then pop him in a dry, cool place. They don't
Yep.
like the sun, because obviously
Okay.
this is UV will eventually
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
The only thing I would recommend is the biggest repair complaint the company has is the cords.
Okay.
So when you take them out of the pool, fold him back up like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like a hose pipe
Yeah,
or
yeah,
an extension cord. If you leave it tangled, you're going to destroy
Yeah.
the cables.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I would say, and he will be your best friend.
Okay. Cool.
If you've got kids, great kid job.
Yes. Yes. That might be
Have you
Charlotte's
cleaned-
job.
Yeah. Have you cleaned the pool? Go put the dolphin in.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
So yeah, you find
Fab.
it's still not clean after 2 hours. Clean the basket. Put button on again.
Yep.
Another job.
Run it again. Yep. Okay.
And that, my friend, is it.
Awesome.
So that little booklet,
Yep.
they say you test once a week.
Okay.
So We've got little test strips in here.
Yep.
You test for chlorine, pH and alkalinity. You don't worry about that bromine line.
Okay.
Okay, because that's for spars. It's got a little indicator here of where you need to be.
Right, okay.
And your colours.
Yep.
And the same here with your pH.
So free chlorine, pH, and then total alkalinity.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So those are the three colours you'll
Yep,
try and match. When you do the test, you'll be able to work out I'm going to need to add or I'm not going to need to add chlorine. Until you get familiar with the terminology, I'd recommend doing this maybe on a Friday night. So come home with a glass of wine, champers, sit in the pool, and measure it.
Yep.
Then your beta load's always high on the weekends, means people who are coming over. So
Okay.
you're going to have friends and
Yeah,
family
yeah.
and whatnot in the pool. So if you can balance your pool Friday night, it's ready for the week.
Yeah, okay.
Take a sample to a pool shop once a month.
Okay.
So just in a bottle of water, or
Yeah.
when you go to a pool
Yeah.
shop, they might give you a free bottle to use as your sample bottle.
Yep.
We always recommend audition 3 companies, and that way you'll find out who just wants to sell you as many chemicals as possible. There'll be a cowboy, and then there'll be 2 that'll give you the same
Yeah,
water chemistry.
yeah, yeah.
You'll develop a rapport with one of them, and then they'll know you when you come
Yeah.
in. They'll put you in their database and whatnot. So the person who's going to sell you what you need is the person you want to stick with.
Right, okay.
When you go, you'll get a printout of what your chemical history is. Keep that for a period of 6 months.
Okay.
God forbid anything goes wrong with the pool, the first thing Aquatechnics will ask you is show us your water chemistry.
Okay.
So if you've got 6 months worth of
Yeah,
chemistry,
yeah.
you'll be able to go here. That way it covers your ass and they can't go, well, it's you who put too much acid in
Yeah.
and cause corrosion on the surface
Right,
of the
okay,
water
yeah.
of the pool. So yeah, so month 7, throw away month 1.
Yeah.
So just keep that consistent.
Keep it going, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once a month, definitely do that to keep your warranty
Yeah,
on your pool.
okay, cool.
And that's pretty much it.
Awesome, okay.
It's a huge learning curve to start with.
I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah. But the pool, develops a relationship with the pool shop.
Yeah.
Or whether you find somebody local to come and do your pool service.
We've got a
once,
pool man, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
One of our friends is a pool man.
Oh, okay. There
Yeah.
you go. Beautiful. Well, then he'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And call upon the people that you know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely, okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah. Have
Thank
a
you.
lovely Christmas and enjoy
Yes, we will.
How
Yeah,
exciting.
get in
13
it.
years and you're going to get in.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know. It's been a long time coming.
Oh. Well, I hope your daughter captures both of you bombing at the same time.
Hopefully.
So if I leave this here, will that be in your way?
No, we'll leave it. Like I said,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got a bit to do.
Yeah.
It'll be mud. Yeah. Garden. Yeah. Used to be the old fruit and vegetables down there.
Oh, your form. I need to do that.
Yes.
Any goes in there, if we leave the filter running, then any little bit of splashes we get in there will just disappear anyway. So just leave it on manual on.
I've just put another sock inside the basket. So that one that Sharon was talking to
Yeah,
you about,
yeah.
using later on. So it'll catch heavier bits of debris that might go in the pool,
Okay.
heavier bits of grit.
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll get only very fine powdery stuff come through into the filter.
Right, okay.
So, but yeah. So I heard husbands at work. Yeah. That's what I
Yes,
heard.
yes.
So yeah, so this unit is your controller, your chlorinator. So the way the system works is that a pool is all about circulation and turning over your body of water, what we call the turnover rate. So in winter time it's about 3 times a day.
Yep.
So 30,000 litre pool, you want to turn over about 90,000 litres a day in winter.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then in summer you're looking at 6 to 8 turnovers a day depending on how much use it gets. So the higher the number is for hotter weather and lots of use. So about 240,000 litres a day through the filtration system
Wow.
in summer.
Okay.
So your pump will run at about just under 400 litres a minute. So that's where you have timers just to make sure that can happen for you. So I've preset in here, so the clock is set. So time of day, that's all done, just after 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Timer number 1, I've set it up to go from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock,
Yep.
so 6 hours there. And because we're in summer mode now and warmer weather, Timer number 2 I've got to set from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
So allow for the fact you may have solar panels.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Yep. So timer, and then to confirm a timer, you just push click. Timer number 3, if you wanted to change something, you would come to this box and it's saying, yep, I want to change that one, so you would highlight it up and down.
Okay, yeah.
And then you'd go and say, yeah, I want to highlight it and up and down, yeah. And then you'd come back to say, yep, and then you'd say, well, this is what I want you to control. I want you to control the pump or a light or something like that. So, and then you would tick to confirm. Timer 3 we're not using, okay, so I'm just going to cancel that one.
Okay, cool.
Timer 4, I've set up your pool light.
Okay.
7 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that's how you do your timers, and you just need to tick to confirm anything you want
So
to do.
how do I turn off the light manually?
Yeah, there is a dial on here, which
Okay.
I'll show you.
Yep.
Okay. So you're not using a valve. That is if you had some sort of a water feature and you wanted to
Okay.
automatically control the valve, but we don't have that. There's your pool light there,
Yep.
light off. Okay, so and then you've got timer on the light. Okay. Chlorine level is this tells you how much chlorine you're going to produce.
Okay.
So I set it last night to 60% because we did a super chlorination, super filtration. But when you're in summertime, if you're using it a lot, you'd probably run this closer to 100%. So what it means is that if the pump's running for 7 hours a day, it's going to produce chlorine for 7 hours a day. If the pump's running for 7 hours a day at 50%, it's only going to produce chlorine for 3.5 hours a day.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so
Yep.
it doesn't reduce the output, it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
intermittently
yeah.
turns it on and off
Yep.
to produce less chlorine. So, but for now I think we'll start, now that we've done a big night of chlorination, let's start at 80% and see how we go, alright? You won't know exactly where to put that until you've done maybe 2 or 3 weeks of using the pool. You've done some water testing,
Yep.
you may be taking a sample down to the pool shop and they'll say your chlorine's too low or your chlorine's too high. Right, then you'll get a feel for, yeah, well, we're using it this much, we're running it this long,
Yeah.
and then you get a feel for what your chlorine's doing. All right. The way it produces chlorine is that we put all of your salt in the pool last night, 5
Yep.
bags. It's now a dissolved solid in the water. It reacts with the electrode here and
Oh, okay.
produces chlorine
Okay.
gas.
I wondered where we get the chlorine from.
Yeah.
I was like, do we buy it from the shop?
Yeah. So, no, if you're going to put more in, you get another bag of salt and you put it in. So this will come up and say low salt.
Yeah.
You go, right, go to Bunnings, buy a bag of salt, chuck it in the pool, just cut the bag
So
open.
it knows how much salt's in there, obviously.
Not how much, it knows the pH.
Yeah, yeah.
And it knows the conductivity with the salt in the
Right,
water here.
okay, yep.
So when the salt dilutes from fresh water being added to the pool, the conductivity will get less.
Yep.
And then it will say low salt.
Right, okay.
Okay, so it's
So
sort
you
of,
just
yeah,
throw it in a bag at a time.
Yeah, you cut the bag open though, 'cause
Yep.
it's a plastic bag.
Yep.
Yeah, and you
Yep.
pour it on that landing at the back there.
Oh,
And then
okay.
it will just dissolve
Right,
while
okay.
the pool's running.
So how often will I have to do that? How
When
much-
this tells you low
just
salt.
when it tells you.
Yep.
Okay.
Or the pool shop says, yeah, salt's a bit low, you need to put some more
Right,
in.
okay.
Okay.
Andrew's got a pool guy.
I'll have
Oh,
a pool
okay.
guy coming.
Cool. Excellent. Well, when he tells you.
Yep.
Right, so then you've got, so chlorine we've covered. pH, don't worry about pH, okay, because it's something that you don't want to adjust.
Okay.
All right, your pool guy will need to know how to do that. All right, but I've set it up for you in settings mode here. I will explain to you how it works though. So here you've got pH high of 7.8 and low of 7.2.
Yep.
And then I've got some feeding rates of 50% and 5%. So a byproduct of producing chlorine off an electrode like this is an increase in pH,
Right.
photos of hydrogen. So if you've ever had anything to do with a fish tank or a pH scale, what happens when you're producing chlorine, your pH steadily increases.
Yep. Okay.
If you don't do anything about it, it gets so high your chlorine goes out of balance and your pool goes cloudy, even
Right.
though it's got chlorine, and then it will go green because it's not balanced.
Yeah, yeah.
So to balance the chlorine, we've got to keep the pH in a range, normally 7.2 to 7.6,
Yep.
but it's easier to err on the side of caution with an auto acid feeder
Right.
and go a little bit higher. So what this will do when your pH gets too high, it's going to go, oh, I need some acid in the pool. It's going to feed it from this drum down here.
Okay.
There's a little pump on the side of here,
Yep.
and it will basically, you'll hear it whirring. It's very soft whirring sound. Draws the acid out of the drum, feeds it down the tube and into this injection point down here.
Okay. Yep.
All right. That acid then also helps clean the electrode because it's coming in before the electrode and before the water goes back into the pool. By the time it gets back to your pool returns, it's heavily diluted. so you can still swim
Okay.
without any risk of any kind of injury
Yep.
from acid and ions and
Yep.
that sort of thing.
Yep.
It's very diluted by the time it gets to your returns.
Okay, cool.
The probe that measures all that is down here, so it's measuring the pH before it doses the acid, so
Okay.
that way it knows where it's at. What you will need to do is occasionally take this drum or get an exchange drum. These are a bit like a gas bottle for
Yeah,
barbecue.
yeah.
The drum has got a value, but only if it's got a lid that hasn't got a hole in it. Of
Hasn't
course,
got a hole?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we've had to put a hole
Yeah,
in the lid.
yeah.
So what you do is next time you go to a pool shop and you say, I need a drum of acid for my acid feed on my pool, or your guy
Yeah,
will supply it. Be aware though, it should, did you confirm it was 14 yesterday?
Oh, it's ticked 14.
6 to 14?
It's ticked.
Oh yeah, ticked. That's what you're saying. So this is a 14% diluted acid.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, so it's got to be replaced with a 14% diluted
Yeah,
acid.
like for like.
Like
Okay.
for like.
How long
Yep.
does it generally last?
Depends on how much basically you're using the pool,
Right.
how much chlorine you're
Yep,
producing,
yep.
and fresh water going in. But you probably should get 2 or 3 weeks of drum during summer.
Oh wow, is that all? Okay.
Yeah, you might get a bit more. I've had some people that have gone through them quite slowly, and then others have gone through them quite quickly. But
Okay.
yeah.
So how
But
will I
anyway,
know it's empty? Will it? I'll just lift it. Okay. I thought there'd be something on there that says fill up your drum.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, give it a couple of weeks, come out and go, yep, I've still got plenty, or
Yep.
whoop, no, it's
Okay.
heading on.
Okay.
So you'll either ask your pool guy to supply you another drum, 14%.
Yep. Okay.
Then what he'll do is he should then put the new drum down here, unscrew this lid, put it in into the new drum,
Yep.
put the new lid on your old drum,
Yep,
and take
and
it
you can
away.
take it back,
Yeah,
yep.
you get about $15 exchange.
Oh wow.
But a new drum is about $40 odd to $50 now. because
Wow.
of price increases.
Yep.
But yeah, you get about $15 exchange.
Okay.
The drums are date stamped. 2022, so this is a brand new drum.
Oh, okay.
They have a 5-year cycle. Once they get past that 5 years, they're taken out of circulation.
Okay.
So if you're using a drum in the same position for 5 years and it expires, you don't get you exchanged.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So last night this was 7.9 when we left. We didn't add any acid to it at all. And this morning it was 7.4. I don't know if you noticed that.
Is that good?
It did
That's
it itself.
perfect.
Oh, okay.
So I deliberately wanted to see what it would do overnight, and then I'm really happy that we got here this morning and it said 7.4.
Right.
So we've got some stabiliser in the skimmer still.
Yep.
Stabiliser does play around with the pH reading, okay? But yeah, 7.4, I'm really, really happy with that. So what I've done now is set it at 7.4 at 80%.
Yep.
I've just pushed that button to turn it back on. Did you notice that?
Yes, yeah.
I didn't turn it or anything, I just clicked it. It's now saying priming, so it's gone back to the high speed of 2850.
Yep.
It is on auto. You've got a temperature sensor in the line as well, telling you what your pool temperature is. It's 25.4 degrees.
yeah.
Okay. The clock is set, your timers are set, and
So
you've
we
got-
shouldn't need to touch that really, apart from getting
Cleaning.
the filter and
Yeah.
the acid, checking the acid.
Correct. Now, cleaning, pushed it, and it goes off.
Right.
Again, no turning.
Yep.
I like this little dial. It's very simple.
Mm.
Turn to a feature and push to turn it on and off. To clean your filter element, you've got an air bleed here that you need to undo, because this
Okay.
is now full of water in here.
Yep.
If we don't open this air bleed, I'm not going to be able to lift that lid off because of the suction.
Okay.
I like to take this one all the way off because it's got a very, very slow air bleed. All right, put it to one side, undo my lock nut. Right, that's now free. I've lubricated the O-ring in here last night, so you should be able to just give this a bit of a wiggle. There we go. And then that comes out. This has got lubricant on here.
Yep.
And this is your cartridge filter.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's what it took out of the pool last night, and the vacuum that we've just done this morning.
Mm.
And this is where that nozzle is very good for cleaning these cartridge filters.
So how do you clean it? What do you clean it with?
Yeah, just water. I'll pinch the hose.
Oh, okay.
Can we pinch the hose real quick?
Just quick. Yeah. No, I'll swap it over. Yeah.
I mean, take yours out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great, thanks.
Wow.
And basically, yep, you just clean it top to bottom.
Yep.
So each time you clean it, while it's still new for the first year, it should return to quite a nice white colour like it is now.
Yep.
Eventually, over time, the filter will hang on to things like sunscreen and a bit of perspiration, that sort of stuff. And the white will go a bit more grey sort of
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
As the filter element ages, the fiberglass bands will start to fray,
Yeah.
and then the paper itself will start to get soft, and that's when you know that it needs replacement.
Okay.
So you just, I always do the first 2 bands top to bottom.
Another job you pay Paul's going to have.
Might get Charlotte to do that. She might like this one.
Occasionally suggest
So how often do I check this? Once a week?
the filter,
Yeah.
when the pressure is above 100.
That little pressure
That
gauge.
will pressure gauge.
So this
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
one
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Maybe mention that.
So that'd stay at over 100 if the filter needs cleaning.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's all about water flow, I guess. So if your dolphin, that little mesh thing
Yeah.
is full, then the water flow
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
working. If that basket's full, the water flow is
Yeah,
not working.
yeah.
If that's full, water flow is
Yeah,
not working.
yeah.
So,
When this bottom band, I basically just put it on an angle,
Yep.
just wash it out
Clean it
away
from
from
that.
myself. Because we've washed all the dirt from the 2 top bands down to this bottom section. pretty
Yep.
much. And I just find this angle works really, really well for cleaning out that bottom section. So when it comes to replacing it, usually you turn the system off, take the filter element out, go down to your nearest tool shop
Yep.
and say, I need a new one of these. They will basically measure it to see what height it is, external diameter and this internal diameter
Yep,
here.
yep.
You can also take a photo of your canister. The
Okay,
model number is on
yep.
the side there. So
And how much do those filters cost?
genuine Waterco, not the cheapest around.
Okay.
You're better off buying a thing called Aussie Gold aftermarket unit. So
Yep.
about
Aussie Gold.
180 to $200 for a new one.
Okay.
So
This is going to be a very expensive hobby, isn't it?
$300 for a genuine Waterco
Wow.
for the same thing.
but if you look after it,
Yeah.
Do you want to swap those hoses back over, please, babe? Putting it back together again is just the reverse of what you did to take it apart. Filter
Pop it
element
in
back
there.
in.
Yep.
Make sure that lid is nice and flat. Lock nut back on. Nice and firm.
Yep.
Don't forget your air bleed,
Yep.
otherwise you'll get a fountain of water here. Now this is a very slow air bleed on this particular brand. So what I generally do, turn it back on because I want to bleed that air back out of the canister.
Okay.
I've seen these where people haven't bled the air out and that white filter has only been dirty to 2/3 and there's been this clean white band at the top.
Okay.
That's because they've been forgetting to
Yeah.
open the air bleed.
Right. Okay.
So what I do here, because I'm usually time restricted, I'll just leave this out all the way with my thumb on it,
Yep.
so it won't explode on me. But ready to push it, turn it back down quite quickly. Because it's just a very, very slow air bleed.
you might get hit.
I'm
Because
used to
he
it.
gets me all the time. Because it comes
So
suddenly.
you're waiting for the water to come out, basically, and then that's when you... Right.
There you go.
Okay. Yep.
You've got air's all gone.
Yep.
You've got water out of there now. So, and that's just gentle nip tight O-ring. Don't over tighten.
Yep.
This one is firm. This one is just a gentle nip tight.
Okay.
This water here will eventually make its way through that coarse thread and you'll see a bit of dripping here for a while, but it's just that water
Okay,
there
yep.
disappearing. So here is your chlorine gas that you can see coming off your electrode.
Yep.
So that's what's keeping your pool nice and clean, is that chlorine gas
Okay.
coming off there. So, all right.
Okay.
Can I just add one thing? When your electrician comes, make sure he doesn't put your power anywhere where that
Oh, it's going to
is
interfere.
going to interfere
Yeah.
Right,
with that
yeah.
twisting.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you know some people just don't think
Yeah.
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 the big
Yeah.
picture.
I went to a house once and I had this up against the house and there was a window.
Oh.
I went to undo it and of course it hit the window.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I
my
had
God.
to take this out to be able to take
Oh
the lock pin
wow.
off,
Yeah.
which is yeah, and I've seen them hitting posts and hitting pipes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Okay.
so then I tell them,
worries.
here's a photo, you got to go back and fix it. So, but yours is good. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah, so circulation, pump run time, 2 timers,
Yep.
filtration, disinfection. That's your
Okay.
basics of a
Yep. So it's pretty much automatic.
It
apart
is.
from us checking the things and.
litmus test strips in
Yep.
your test kit, so you can do a bit of home testing.
Yep.
But once a month down to the pool shop with a sample, so they can go, yep, here it is. Keep a copy of it
Yep.
for your records, for your
Yep.
warranty.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm sure Sharon went through all that
Yep.
with you.
Yep.
And that's your pool light transformer plugged
Okay.
into here.
Yep.
Okay.
How does Sandy turn it off?
Turn it on. Oh yeah, I showed it up.
Can we
did?
can we
Yeah.
change that timer actually? Because it's not dark at 7 yet, is it? On the light.
We
Can we
certainly
change
can.
it to like 8 till. What did we have it on? I think we had it on 7 till 9, didn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe change it to 8 till 10.
So it's in settings. Okay, settings. Arrow is up there. I can go to pool lights.
Oh, can you get multicoloured lights on it?
Yes.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, timer. That's right. It's on timer, isn't it? Clock. Exit. Time. That's right. Timer number 4. Click. 8 o'clock.
Yeah, till 10. Perfect.
10 o'clock. Tick to confirm. Okay. And full light on.
Awesome.
And then just tick to confirm. Alright. Exit. And mode. This is the other important one.
Okay.
So you've got several modes. Auto, obviously. It's
Yep.
just going to run in automatic mode on timer. Manual.
Yep.
You want to turn it on outside of the timer modes to maybe do a vacuum, or you're having a swim outside of the timer modes. It's always best to have the pump running when you swim. You've got winter.
Sorry,
which-
so you've got to have the pump running when you swim?
It's best if you
Okay,
do, because
yep.
then you're replacing the chlorine
Yep,
that you
yep.
use up with hair and
Right,
sunscreen.
okay,
and,
yep.
You know. Winter reduces all your timers by half.
Yep.
So that way it's not running as long. Okay. Superchlorinate means you might have had a big swim day, New Year's Day, lots of people in the pool goes cloudy. Right, I'll superchlorinate it.
Yep.
It runs for a set number of hours and then it goes back to automatic mode. And then low chlorine mode is I've got too much chlorine in the pool, or we're going away and we've got a blanket
Yep.
on the pool. We don't want to over chlorinate the pool. So you go low chlorine, so it's still running, but it's just not producing. It drops this down to 10%.
Right, okay.
So that way
Yep.
you don't over chlorinate your pool, because with the blanket on the pool, you're not evaporating it from your
Yeah,
bed.
I've heard about blankets causing issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So
Have you got yours
exit.
or is it next?
It's coming.
coming.
Yep.
So we're back on auto timer standby.
Yep.
That'll turn on. at
Okay,
9 o'clock
cool.
For you.
So pump needs to be on to vacuum it.
Yes.
Does it need to be on for the robot as well? Yes.
No. Robot
Doesn't
is
matter?
Totally independent.
Right.
It's-
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, robot's
okay.
on its own power
Yep.
supply.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it.
You got a pool man in January. He's coming around.
Yes. Yes. He only lives
Yeah.
around the corner.
Good.
Yeah, he's one of our friends. So. Okay.
All right.
Cool. All right. Brilliant.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Now, next part for
Thank you.
me
Sharon's just got
is the
paper.
handover form. So this
Okay.
is us telling ALT that we've been. Okay, so it's just a little bit about you, the date that we were here, and your pool volume is 18,500, which I put on that form.
Yep.
I'm just noting on here some outstanding items. Oop, that's a yes. The PC, because theoretically I haven't seen them, and the electrician to attend, and your blankets
Yep.
to arrive next year. So basically we've cleaned your pool, we've explained the filtration, your lights are tested and working, and the chemical safety has been addressed. Is there any cleans or, site clear that they haven't done that they're supposed to come back
No,
and do?
no,
Nothing?
no.
Okay, so I won't tick that. Then this is just a history of what we have taken as far as your water chemistry, what your chlorine is, what your pH was. We didn't add any because of the doser, which Dave mentioned. We've added some stabiliser with a skimmer sock, and we've added all your bags of acid. So it's just so that they can see what the result of the water was on the day of handover. Then your filtration photos before and after, when Dave's put the chlorinator and the lights on the wall.
Yep.
Your pull before and after. And then we need to prove that the light's working. You don't have any jets. I don't have any photos of that. That's just another photo of today.
Okay,
so if you're happy with that,
Yep.
just sign that we have done that. I'll get you just to put your squiggly on
I'll do.
there. Yep, it goes really small, look, ding. And then I'll put on Dave's. And then I send that off, and then basically this will now stimulate the accounts department to go pay your bill.
Right.
If you've got anything
I've already paid it.
outstanding,
Yeah.
I'll have you. Okay.
Yeah, all gone.
'Cause I
All
was
done.
gonna say-
I think I earned $5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, if you hadn't, best form of communication with them is happy to pay when these outstandings are addressed.
Right. Okay.
But if you've already paid, then
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Well, it kind of came out because we were supposed to have traffic management when it
Okay.
went in, and they didn't.
right.
So that was $990, and then the handover's $995.
Yeah.
So it offsets it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, that's it for us.
Cool. Brilliant. Thank you very much. So, what's the deal with the lid? Have I got to put the lid on? What?
The lid we put on like that just to keep the debris out. I mean, you can take it out of the plastic bag. We're just
Right.
never sure what the client's going to want.
Yep.
And whether you're going to have paving or aggregate or
Yeah,
concrete
yeah.
poured. So we just leave it in the plastic bag.
Right,
You can
okay.
take it out and put it on top.
Right.
Easy,
Okay.
easy.
Cool.
When
Down the track, your aggregate guy will probably offer you a thing called a hideaway,
Yeah.
which is a stainless steel version that sits over the
Okay.
top.
Yep.
They trim the plastic extensions to the height of the aggregate,
Yep.
right? And then the hideaway, they can put the aggregate or concrete inside it, so it's flush.
Yep,
And
yep.
it looks the same as the rest of the pool.
Okay.
You don't have this
Yeah,
terrible
yeah,
beige coloured
yeah.
thing sitting.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
So,
Okay.
yeah, standard
Yep.
colour beige.
No worries. All
So
right. Awesome.
any colour you like, as long as it's beige. So,
All right. No worries. Oh, can I get one of those nozzles off you? I'll go and grab
that
you.
one there?
Yeah.
All right, sure.
So I'll go and grab you $20.
Yeah, you're going to really appreciate that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Sharon's idea to start putting them in the car. So